Hey, how's it going everybody? It's Tanner here and welcome back to a new video here on the channel. In today's video we're going to be covering a bunch of different various types of news, some related to Ninjago and the rest related to the MCU and the Marvel movies and stuff like that, because we got a lot of information regarding Ninjago stuff recently, and we also got a lot of information regarding some of the MCU stuff, some cancelled stuff, and some new casting rumors and confirmations. So we're going to get started by first talking about some of the Ninjago things that we have to discuss, and we're going to be basing this theory off of the new set list that was recently leaked for the summer 2020 wave of Ninjago, otherwise known as Season 13. Now, first of all, let me go ahead and discuss that this theory is in no way confirmed, and a lot of people have just been talking about this throughout the community from what I've seen. A lot of people think that this is going to be happening, and I could see it happening, honestly, and that is that Klaus might be returning in Season 13 to be the main villain of the entire thing. Now, I forget what Klaus did exactly in the Dark Island trilogy, which is, I guess, the last time we saw him canonically in the series. He was, of course, introduced in Season 4 of Ninjago, then he sort of showed up again in Season 5 for a little cameo, then in Season 6 he had a little bit more to do, and then the Dark Island trilogy, which is a series of comic books that are actually canon to the Ninjago show, he was the main villain in that, and he was kind of hanging out on the Dark Island in the Temple of Light, all that kind of stuff, and he suddenly just disappeared from Ninjago altogether, and we really don't know what happened to him. Well, this rumor suggests that he, I guess, appeared in the underworld, and now he's taking control of the skeleton army and using his magic to create these sorcerer skeletons, which are the main villains of Season 13. We actually do have that pretty much confirmed from the leaked list of sets. I mean, a lot of the times leaks tend to be a little misleading and a little, dare I say, wrong, but the idea of sorcerer skeletons could make a lot of sense, especially if Klaus is returning. He could actually go ahead and take over the skeleton army and use it to his own advantage. I do believe that's going to be something that we're going to be seeing in Season 13, and I do think that if they are going to go ahead and do the sorcerer skeleton route, why not go ahead and actually have Klaus be the center of that? It could wrap up his character arc, and it could also, I guess, make way for a new, I guess, group of villains to come in after Season 13, because again, I do feel like a lot of older villains should be, I guess, revisited in a way that makes sense, and I do think that Klaus is one of those villains that should be revisited, just because he really didn't get that much, I guess, independent love aside from a comic book series. So to actually have him be a main villain of an entire season, that could make a lot of sense, and I would definitely like to see that happen for Klaus. He's a good character, and I like the way that he actually is designed. I like his mannerisms, I like the way that he acts, and I do feel like he could be a main villain if he really wanted to. So if he is going to be the leader of the sorcerer skeletons, why not go ahead and actually have him be the leader of the sorcerer skeletons, have him be the leader of the skeleton army, and have him convert that entire army into a sorcerer skeleton army. That could be really cool to see, and I'd really like to see that. Talking about these Season 13 sets a little bit more, there is another rumor that all of these sets can combine together to create a board game of sorts, which I was not expecting, and I don't know, again, if this is 100% accurate, because leaks are not 100% accurate in the slightest, but we do have, I guess, a lot of rumors going around that all of these sets will be able to combine together into some type of board game, which I think is a kind of cool idea, honestly. I feel like it could be really fun, not really for my demographic, but for the younger demographic that watch Ninjago. I feel like maybe, they could have fun with that. I just kind of see Ninjago sets now as a way to get the figures. I'm a collector of Ninjago figures. A lot of builds really haven't been impressing me as of late, with a few exceptions here and there that I've already talked about on the channel before, but overall Ninjago sets, to me at least, just kind of feel like little gimmick sets, and while I appreciate gimmicks just as much as the next guy, there's only so much I can actually buy before I start to feel like I'm wasting my money, and instead I should be just buying the individual figures themselves, either on Bricklink or using LEGO's official services. But if they can actually all combine together like that, I guess it's a good incentive for everybody that's collected the entire wave of Ninjago Season 13 sets. The only time I think I've actually completed a Ninjago wave and bought every single set was Rebooted, I think. I bought every single Season 3 set that existed from Ninjago, and I don't think I've done that since. There's always been a couple that I've been missing, but there really hasn't been that much of an incentive to me, at least, to buy all the sets, except maybe to collect all the figures and get every minifigure that exists out there. But you can get all the minifigures for a lot cheaper, but if this is anything to go off of here, then Season 13 will have some sort of incentive to buy every single set, and that is that they can all combine together into some type of board game. That's kind of cool, though, when I think about it. It's a good gimmick. gimmick, and I like the way that that's kind of designed if this turns out to be true. I feel like some people will have fun with it, but I myself probably will not. Let's go ahead and jump ship a little bit and start talking about some MCU news, because we got a lot of stuff going on here. First of all, we got Owen Wilson cast in the Disney Plus Loki series, which is marvelous. In case you guys don't know who Owen Wilson is, he is infamous for playing the role of the main character in the Cars movies, and he is back to play somebody in the MCU in the Loki TV show. I think this is pretty much confirmed at this point that he's going to be a part of this, and again, I'm not quite sure who exactly he will be playing. Some people have suggested Adam Warlock, which I feel like could be very funny, but I feel like they're going to save his introduction for Guardians of the Galaxy, so not quite sure exactly who Owen Wilson will be playing here. But I actually think it's kind of funny that he's even partaking in the MCU at all. I've seen a lot of jokes about it on Twitter already, and that could always be really fun to go ahead and talk about. But I'm curious to see who exactly he's going to be playing, because Owen Wilson is a very comedic actor, not only in the internet culture sense, but also, you know, just in general. He's a really funny actor, so again, I'm curious to see who he's actually going to be playing. Some people have suggested he could be playing sort of a crossover kind of parallel universe version of Thor, which could be really fun to see, but overall I'm not quite sure who exactly he'll be playing. It's all up in the air at this point. Speaking of casting rumors, we have a rumor that Emily Blunt has recently met with Marvel Studios to discuss some type of undisclosed role. Now, of course, everybody basically panicked right away when they heard that news, because a lot of people infamously want Emily Blunt to play Sue Storm in the MCU, who is of course the Invisible Girl from the Fantastic Four, and now that Marvel has the rights back to the Fantastic Four and the X-Men due to the recent Disney purchase of Fox, that means that the MCU could be getting the Fantastic Four soon, and a lot of people's dream castings, at least for Reed Richards and Sue Storm, are John Krasinski and Emily Blunt respectively, and I believe that could work. I think that it's a very good casting choice, and considering how Emily Blunt was, you know, rumored to be meeting with Marvel Studios, that could very well be true. She might be, I guess, meeting for a different role as well, or maybe not even a role in general. She might not have even been meeting with them. This is all a rumor, but a lot of people think that she'd be great for the Fantastic Four. I agree, and I would like to see that actually happen. Next up, we got to talk about the MCU being a little crazy recently, revealing several deleted scenes or alternative, I guess, concepts for movies. First thing we're going to talk about here, we're going to talk about a few of them, but the first one we're going to talk about is having the Smart Hulk introduction be in Infinity War rather than having it be in Avengers Endgame. Now, in case you guys do not remember, I don't know how you could not remember, but the Smart Hulk version of Bruce Banner appeared first in Avengers Endgame after the 5-year time jump. He kind of just showed up randomly and was kind of revealed to the audience all at once, which I do think is effective, but the original plan for that was to have him transform into the Smart Hulk during the final battle of Infinity War. And I do believe that that would have worked as well, but I feel like it works a lot better just having it, you know, just bluntly shown to us rather than having it be built up. I feel like a lot of stuff happened after the 5-year time jump in Avengers Endgame, and the studio did an excellent job at showing us where these characters were and what they were doing during the 5-year time jump, and of course having Smart Hulk just be there randomly is kind of funny, and it's a really good reveal, and I feel like it works a lot better in Endgame than what it would have worked in Infinity War. I feel like a lot of it could have worked better if Infinity War actually had this reveal, but I feel like it works a lot more in Endgame, and I feel like it's a lot more effective. Next up, we gotta talk about the Captain Marvel stand-in, which was, I guess, supposedly filmed during Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, this was always a big rumor that I had heard a while back, because Age of Ultron came out how many years ago now? Feels like forever ago. And there was this big rumor that Captain Marvel was always supposed to appear at the end of that movie in the final, I guess, New Avengers team-up shot where you had War Machine, Falcon, Vision, Scarlet Witch. There was supposed to be Captain Marvel there as well. Unfortunately, she was cut because they didn't want her reveal to be in Avengers Age of Ultron as like a cameo, so I feel like that works a lot better. I'm not really a big fan of Captain Marvel in the MCU. I don't feel like she's a good character, but to actually have her debut be in Age of Ultron, I don't think would have worked either. And with all that being said, I think that'll just about do it for this news wrap-up today. We talked about some Ninjago stuff, talked about some Marvel stuff, and I feel like that's going to be it for now. Of course, I am going to try to be doing these videos every day now as a way to get back into doing YouTube, so be sure to stick around for that. Also, be sure to check out all the links down below in the description if you enjoyed this video, with links to my Discord, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, all that kind of stuff is down below. Be sure to check that out if you have not done so already. As always, I gotta give a huge shout out to my Patreon supporters, including the Marvelous Jan. Thank you so much for pledging to the $10 tier. And with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video once again. My name is TannerFishies, and with that, I bid you farewell.